Hello Star Wars fans, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking all 12 books in the Galaxy of Fear series. Galaxy of Fear is a children's novel series inspired by R.L. Stine's Goosebumps, and this series was fantastic. If you want to hear my in-depth thoughts on the series as a whole, as well as each individual book, I'll link my reviews in the description. Anyways, without further ado, let's rank and review. So in last place at number 12, I have book 11, titled Clones, and this is the only book in the entire series that I genuinely disliked. This book's portrayal of cloning was absolutely ridiculous and not at all faithful to other depictions in the EU. There were certain things I really enjoyed about this book, such as the climactic battle, some of the characters, and the book's depiction of Dantooine. Also, imagining the temple runes as being the Jedi Enclave from KOTOR really enhanced the reading experience. But the plotline in this one simply outweighs anything good I have to say. Next, at number 11, I have Book 5 titled Ghost of the Jedi. This one for me was just a big missed opportunity. The Force Flow reveal was really disappointing, and Nespis 8 had the potential to be a lot creepier than it was. I also did not like this book's depiction of Force ghosts, with one of them being able to interact with the physical world. Overall, this book just fell a bit flat for me and lacked stakes. At number 10, I have Book 3, Planet Plague. For me, I just thought that the plotline was far too bare compared to the other books. Not much really happened. The plague itself wasn't as present in the story as I was hoping, and the cameo character Wedge Antilles didn't have much to do. There also wasn't much character development. Overall, I did like the planet Gobindi and the introduction of Borborygmus Gog, but other than that, this book was just a little bit empty. Next at number 9 is Book 9, simply titled Spore. This book is an interesting one because it had a few things that I absolutely loved. First of all, the cameo in this one is Jarek from Dark Forces, which is great. I also loved the climax of this book when Spore is finally unleashed upon Ithor. But what drops this book down to number 9 for me is the first two acts. The mystery and the way it played out really didn't interest me, and part of that is due to my disinterest in the setting of Ithor and a nearby mining colony. And you all know, for me, one of the most important aspects of these young children's novels is the setting. And at number 8, we have Book 8, titled The Swarm. Overall, this one was kind of just bland throughout, nothing crazy really happened, and I didn't absolutely love any part of it, but it wasn't horrible. Easily the best part of this book, however, was the inclusion of Thrawn, who is just Captain Thrawn at this time. Once again, these cameos are just great, it's just not enough to save this book. Next at number 7 is the first book in the series, Book 1, Eaten Alive. This one from beginning to end was just really entertaining. I really liked Devouran as a planet, and the Enzine people were pretty creepy. My main complaint with this book is actually the cameo for once. I thought including the entire original trilogy cast, especially this early on in the series, was a bit of a weird choice, and definitely brought the book down a bit. And at number 6 is Book 7, The Brain Spiders. Overall, this book was pretty mediocre. To me, Jabba's Palace is just a really boring setting in prose, just like it was in Tales from Jabba's Palace. I also thought that the plot took a bit too long to kick in, but once it did, this book was actually pretty creepy for a kid's book. There's some really great body horror in this one, and that's what elevates this book above the first book. And at number 5 is Book 2, City of the Dead. This one was just plain fun. I thought Necropolis and the zombie plotline was super fun, and I loved the Boba Fett and Dr. Evazan cameos. At number 4, we have the finale to the first arc, Book 6, Army of Terror. This one was a lot of fun. I loved seeing the different stages of Project Starscream come together to create Epin, and I absolutely loved the exploration of Hool's past. Like with Book 1, my only complaint is the inclusion of the original trilogy cast, including Darth Vader this time around. To me, I prefer when these books are smaller scale adventures for kids, rather than trying to tie it in with movie characters. And kicking off my top 3 is the final book in the series, Book 12, titled The Hunger. This one was just fantastic throughout. This is probably the darkest and the scariest of all 12 books. There's cannibalism, beheadings, and a lot more. We also had some fantastic development for Zack and Tash, which involved Yoda, whose portrayal was spot on. And my runner-up is Book 10, The Doomsday Ship. Objectively, I'd say The Hunger is probably the better book, but something about this one just really hooked me from the start. I loved the setting, I loved the plot, the pace, the characters, I loved seeing Dash Rendar again. This one was just a blast from beginning to end, and that's really all you can ask for. But at number 1, my favorite Galaxy of Fear book is Book 4, The Nightmare Machine. I pretty much loved everything about this one. I loved seeing Hologram Funworld and Lando, both great references to Jedi Prince. Borborygmus Gog was a great villain in this one. I loved the twist that half the book was really an illusion created by the Nightmare Machine, and I loved how the machine was used as a plot device to further the development of the kids and their relationship. Overall, just a really fun book, and really well written from beginning to end. So that is my ranking of all 12 Galaxy of Fear books. Tell me in the comments what some of your favorites and least favorites are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next review where I'll be reading the Dark Forces novellas by William C. Deitz. See ya.